Welcome to NeuroMovement Revolution with Anat Baniel, where you will discover breakthrough possibilities for your life through the brain's power to change. We're so happy that you can join us in making the impossible possible.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see those of you that I see. We are so very excited. I am so very excited to resume the podcast. And I see Jordy, you are coming on the second podcast, but I love having you here. That's wonderful. Great. And Anne, and I see Millie, and I saw, he's gone, Maurice, and I see Dalit.
And a message from Millie in the chat saying, so good to see you, Anat.
Great. Okay. So, partly inspired by Jordy, that we will have the second podcast with, and of course very deeply influenced and inspired by what's happening in the world right now in terms of the pandemic and the lockdown and the schools not opening, yes, opening, partially opening, and already many months the children were at home and still are, most of them. And how and so obviously it's a huge challenge. It's a huge conversation and it's a huge challenge. And for us with ABM, it's also the question of how to take care of or to contribute or facilitate. Yep, I will change that. So with the little ones, as young as a few weeks old and up to a few years old, children with special needs, and how to help the parents and the families and the caregivers to help them. So I'm going to just say a few words and tell you a few things, and then I will actually love to hear either comments or questions coming from you. Okay, so it all was unfolding very fast, and a lot of things happened. This is, some of you may know, we've been doing a program with the school district, Lloydminster, Alberta School District, with the 6 schools, and they had to shut the schools and in Canada, of course, and they called and they said, can we suspend the contract? And I said, yes. And just yesterday, we had a long conversation with them, and we are resuming the program, which is just so heartening and thrilling. And it's going to be online at this point. And then after 2-3 weeks of that, I started thinking, I realized it's going to be long-term, most likely very long-term. And what about the kids? They don't, they grow. Their brains need to develop as this is going on. And it took a few name changes until we honed in what we believe the name is. And now we call it NeuroMovement Online at Home Coaching. Because I thought the brain is the brain, and the conditions the brain requires to wake up and function at its more optimal level doesn't change whether kids are at home or whether they're in school or wherever they are, except we can no longer deliver it directly through our own hands, right? Have the little kids there, or go into the classroom and work with a group of children in a classroom. And then my next step was to think, well, the essentials don't care how they're delivered, the 9 essentials, and the shifting from the idea of fixing to connecting. It's always the case. It's always helps wake up the brain and optimize its functioning. So I thought, how about we work with the people that are with the children? and especially during the lockdown. It's mostly the parents, sometimes also grandparents, sometimes other adults, but they are locked down together. So however, and Zoom has become a miracle for all of us, the opportunities that it opens. And so I thought, how about we shift into a coaching program? Oops, I'm so sorry. Obviously, I did not take care of everything before we started. So I thought, how about we step into the homes, the actual homes where the child is and the adults are, and be with them as they are with their child, and guide the parents in the existing activities, in the existing interactions, how to adopt the essentials within what they do. So it can be a small baby where they change diapers, or a 6-year-old that needs to do his math homework, or anyone. And it's been challenging. It's a very, because sometimes I just want to jump through the screen and just take care of it and do it myself. That's the easiest for me and for the other teachers. And at the same time, to really both appreciate what it takes to start it's not integrating, but it's integrating and infusing action, doing it through the filter, through the mechanisms of the essentials. So 2 days ago, I was with the father was the one that was being coached in Russia. His English is better. So the mother manned the camera, the computer. And towards the end, and he was just like, he's familiar with the work, and he's read the book, and we actually saw the child in person a while back, before this whole pandemic thing. And he said, I read Kids Beyond Limits, and now I feel this is the Kids Beyond Limits for me and my child. It's been rewritten directly for me and my child. And I thought it was a very interesting and lovely way of saying it. So, we started doing it, and I started with my team of 5 teachers, and one of them is Neil, that is also here with us on the podcast. And we just, and some families jumped in with us, and we're getting amazing results. I mean, we're not getting the results. The children are getting the results. So just last week, Marcy and Neil worked with 2 little girls, one I think 3 months old, and one, if I'm saying correctly, 9. I have not seen them yet. And both had devastating medical issues that they are alive, but they stopped functioning. It's just stopped them. And one of them, the slightly older, lost what she had. And the one that lost what she had, within 4 of those sessions, through the parents changing the way of interacting with a child, she figured out how to roll over from the back to the belly. What Neil did with her, that little sequence of time, was hold her back from jumping in and looking to help the child. That was the main thing he did at that point. And she started crawling, moving from place to place, and was just happy like a lark. And the father, in this case, is the one being coached. He just couldn't believe his eyes. I mean, maybe I'm mixing the 2 families. Anyway, you can imagine that they're thrilled. And I am learning a lot. I'm learning a lot, and I'm learning another layer, because when we do it through Zoom, the parents are there and they may hold the child or so on, but we don't teach them to do the work with the hands. That takes a training program. But within their actions and what it calls upon the parents is hugely to up their awareness. It's like, won't work without awareness. Awareness of self, awareness of what moves us, like something with a Russian father yesterday. I realized, I kind of stopped and I took over a little bit, and I said to him in English what I wanted him to say to the child. That was an older child, 6 years old, and very, very limited, and had to stop him and had to slow him down. And then and then I asked the mother to take the child so I could talk to the father for a moment. And I said to him, I just became aware of the difference between you and me, because I'm saying what I'm saying, and then you're saying, and what I'm doing is different than what you're doing. And the difference is that I'm not trying to fix him. I truly do not have an agenda for a specific outcome. I am, as I said it a while back, just a few weeks ago, and I say it again, my goal is not the outcome. My goal is the process. My intention, it's more than goal, but my intention is the process, to build a certain quality process using the fixing from fixing to connecting and the 9 essentials, and drive the activity and drive the relating through those. And because I and all of us, the teachers, were removed from the immediate motor execution on our part, it sort of represents it manifests the essentials in their essence. It's really not do this, then that. I mean, we do stuff, but it's not a recipe of actions. It's an approach, it's a way of being and doing that opens in what I consider the space of real miracles. So because I have you here and we're already 15 minutes through, I would love, Neil, any questions or any in the chat, or I know right now in the chat there are 3 people, and you can also talk. So if you would like to ask a question directly, those on Facebook Live can't do it but through Zoom, if you click on participants, your name will be at the top, and you just click at the bottom, at the bottom right, it says raise hand. So if you want to ask a question or tell something or comment, just raise your hand and I will call on you.
And we also have a question that's been submitted via email, which I've
Okay, how about we start with that?
Emailed to you, but I can read it.
Absolutely. I haven't seen it, so.
So this question is from Yari. She says, hi, my 22-month-old daughter is a neonatal stroke survivor. As a result, she's delayed and has cortical visual impairment, but she's making awesome progress, a real proof of brain plasticity. She started some belly crawling at 17 months and has been pulling to sitting for a month now. My current concern is I feel she's not using her pelvis and lower back properly, as she's quite hunched when sitting. Her pelvis tilted into an anterior position. Any advice for that? It's hard those days with all her therapies via Zoom to figure the proper ways. She says, I discovered your method just last March, and I was amazed to see, as I read your book, that I'd been applying most of the essentials out of intuition. Providers kept saying how impressive it was, how much she'd improved, when at first it was feared she wouldn't live more than a few months on palliative care. After reading and listening to you, I believe it's not just a miracle or coincidence. Too bad it's not safe to travel those days. I'm heartbroken that there's no practitioner in our state, as she has so much potential to unlock. But at least I was able to binge on your podcasts, and I'm so happy they are starting again. So this is Yari. I'll see if Yari is there. She is.
Okay, how about I see Yari?
I will ask to start video. Her video is not on.
What's not on? Oh, you need to unmute Yari. Neil, she's muted. Hi. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, great. And the name of your daughter?
Here's Denali.
Sorry?
Denali.
Zanali with a Z?
No, with a D. Denali.
Oh, Denali. Okay, that makes Denali. Okay, that I'm familiar with. So first of all, thank you so much, and thank you for, where did she disappear? Here she is. I want to pin her, and I'm unable to pin her. Okay. So Yari, first of all, thank you so very much for what you wrote. And here she is. Nina, is there any way I can pin her? Let me just, here we go. I did it. So and for already generating such amazing, or facilitating such amazing miracles with your daughter. I mean, this is phenomenal. And she's listening. Hi Dana.
Hi.
It's okay. Let me, you see. So for example, if I were coaching you right now, the very first thing most parents, almost like across the board, slow down. The first thing is slow down. And then she looked at me and she chose to turn her head away. And you jump in to try to convince her to say hello to me. And you see, she already turned her head back. That means to allow room for the child to fulfill on their impulse or their intention. And I'm not talking like if a child is going to hit another child, you'd let them go on their impulse. Then it's a different story. But, she looked, she got curious, she got a little, apprehensive. She turned her head and got closer to you. That means and then to see what, if I were to work with you right now, and I'm not trying to plug in the work, but I'm just giving an example to everybody that you can already use. So much of the coaching is observing the child and looking for opportunities to join and then move, like bringing the variation. So Denali, you turned your head away again. And now can I see you? You see, so I just start, I'm stopping but she's listening. She's perhaps going to do something with it.
But actually I have to put you on, I have my earplugs. So, so she's not exactly listening, but
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, but she did look. And it's funny because when we relate, when we really connect to another person.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you. But when we connect to another person, it really, really makes a difference. Now she's listening to the sound. Now that is the thing you're listening to, sweetheart.
Yeah.
That is what? This is me. My name is Anat. And your name is, I don't see you anymore. You see, so it's much more a narration and jumping in and joining. That's one of the huge deals that we work with. So what was your question? It was about the pelvis something, right?
So it's actually when she's sitting, so let me put her down if you want to see her. She's a tiny bit hunched when she's sitting.
Yeah, I see it. Let me ask you a few questions. Was Denali put in sitting as part of her therapy to get her to learn how to sit?
So actually, yes. At some point when she was a year old, they started working on that, and we did it for like 3 months, and then I stopped doing it because I was not feeling that it was right. And then I read your book, and then I was like, okay, I'm now really convinced it's not right.
Yeah. And does she come up to sitting now by herself?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, she's obviously is a learner. She had the experience of sitting up, and she figured a way to do it. Does she also displace herself in space, like either crawling, or what does she do?
Yeah, she crawls a little bit, not too much. She's not like an explorer yet, but she's crawling to her favorite toys for like 3 feet, something like that.
Okay.
And then she spins when she's sitting like that, or when she's on her back. She loves to spin.
Yeah, so just curiosity, the patch, why does she have a patch on her eye?
That's for strabismus.
And has it been helpful?
It has improved a little bit, but we're almost 6 months into it, and it's not like
I would love for
groundbreaking.
you. I'm going to make a recommendation. I wonder she might be able to do stuff in the internet. Dr. Deborah Zelinsky, Chicago.
Sorry, I can't hear if you.
That's okay. Deborah Zelinsky. She's a developmental optometrist, but she's way more than that. She's the brain icon. Wrote a book about this years ago. You don't have to apologize. And I would really question the patching, and the way, I don't know, I don't want to go into much detail right now because there's other people. I want to give an opportunity. In terms of the use of the back, my most general thing to tell you to see if the brain will hook up to it itself, because she's not using her lower back very well or very much. She's using her flexors to get, but she's doing a little bit of it right now. So would be enormous. I mean, a lot of variability, a lot of variations.
Okay.
And I just, I give you a few tips here, and if you are inclined to work with one of the teachers, we can give you ideas, but the abilities of positions and activities and a lot of freedom around it, because she's already pretty grooved into her. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. That's right. I can cough too. You're not the only one that can cough. Okay, so just think variations.
Okay.
And fixing to connecting. Don't have a goal. Do like an exploration. What happens when you're getting to the same position as her? Do it one way, do another way. Look what attracts her, and let's see what comes from that. And if you want a little more,
yay.
You have a big voice. I'm a little concerned about the patch.
Little question about what?
The patch. I'm a little concerned about the patch, but she's really amazing, and she'll be the better person to guide you about that.
Okay. Thank you. I received the reference by Neil, apparently. So thank you so much.
Great. You're very welcome, and keep us posted.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for letting me in here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
now we have a couple of comments in the chat on Facebook, and we have a hand raised from Anne.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Okay.
Do you want the comments first, or?
Sure, let's hear comments and then let's go to questions.
So from Stephanie Lynn, my son is 2.5 months and diagnosed with MPPH syndrome. He's benefited from your method. I'm so thankful to have found it. And from Jessica Berger in the United Kingdom, we've had 2 blocks of coaching with Anat and her team and 1 with Kathy O'Neill. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It has given us so many invaluable strategies to employ immediately at home. It's even better if combined with doing some online lessons as an adult! Exclamation point. Thank you, she says. And now Anne in the participants column.
Okay.
Hi, Anat.
Hi, I'm looking for, I'll do speaker view, so I'll see you. Oops.
Okay.
Here we go. Hi, Anne.
Hi, how are you?
You.
I know.
A squishy hug.
Thanks. Okay. My question is, so most of the schools in Canada are going to be going to full regular back to school. A lot of the special needs parents are going to choose to either do homeschooling or online. So first question is, how do we keep the learning switch on when it's us as the parents doing the teaching and it's online? And second question is, I'm curious about your Lloydminster and what you're offering online, whether that might be something available for other parents that are doing online schooling or homeschooling. Have you thought about that?
Well, I'll start with the second question about the Lloydminster. The program, what we are carving our way, you know, we are in conversation, we sort of, we created highlights and they have to see in terms of the time that they can give to it, because they have to really work and train everybody how to do the way it's going to be that they think, you know, in September when the schools open, unless if it starts going up, then they won't open, or they'll just open it for the special needs kids that really need more attention. So it's all in flux, but the coaching will be for the aides, you know, for the people that work with the special needs kids and the teachers. And we're looking for the structure we're going to do it. Now, in the program that we've already built, from the beginning, there was a sub-program within a program of doing private work with a number of the children that are, you know, diagnosed with autism or whatever diagnosis they have. And we flew in, you know, two of our trainers, Lara and Deb, to do that. And then Dan up in Saskatoon continued. And it was fantastic. But that doesn't seem like it would be possible to continue because the school would not allow anybody except the regulars to show up on the premises. So, and we can't fly from the States to Canada right now anyway. So what we're going to do is we're looking to implement the coaching program that we're doing with the parents now, with the parents of a number of children. So just do a year-long program with them of the coaching. And since we videotape it, use it to coach the teachers and aides to see what we are doing and start adopting the same things as they themselves are with those children. So it's very enclosed, you know, within the school and the professionals. And it's also because of the law, and we also do the research, you know, we're looking to continue with the sensors and, you know, Elizabeth Torres and Martha and all that stuff. So we cannot open it to the public. It's going to be contained and you know, privacy and all that stuff. But because of what you say, it just occurred to me that we haven't even considered it, but we can perhaps open like a course or a group coaching thing where we have a bunch of parents coming on and we just focus on one thing and all the parents can participate. So we can just look to create that. And, you know, we'll bring people like you and our other and everybody that is interested, and you'll sign up. How soon do we need to start? She's muted.
There we go. Yeah, now you can. Yeah, I was thinking something like your through your hands version for learning, right? Like, and yeah, for the, because school. I mean, school doesn't start till September, right? But
so we will look to perhaps start it the very beginning, maybe a couple 2 hours or something, to do a general, you know, introductory stuff before people even work, because the so much of it really drives through you or through me or through the adult. So the big one of the big awarenesses I'm getting doing all this is, I always knew it, but now it's like, that's it. It has to happen. We have how we operate our own organization, emotional, cognitive, and the way we are has enormous impact on the brains around us, and no more than on children. You know how I say that the parent and child are one brain. So I need to work with the parents that are going to be doing homeschooling. This is like the introductory, blog, but I can open a course where the people who come on know that they are going to be the ones I'm going to be coaching. It's not like fixing the child. It's okay.
Say hi then.
Enjoying. Nice to see you again. You've grown a lot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She looks great.
She does, yeah. No, I mean, that sounds perfect because, I mean, if you're teaching your kids all day, then how do we make sure the learning switches on? So starting the day or recess would be something that you could do.
Even the statement we teach them, they already go like, well, I'm just about to coach you on that. So
right?
Yeah. So, I'm going to tell a very short story and then we have to end, and it has nothing to do with coaching, like that. But I worked in a Tanglewood Music Festival. That's the big Boston Symphony Summer Festival out of Tanglewood. And it was many years ago. And I came and they had a third of the musicians somewhere during the summer. They created the summer orchestra, an associated with Boston Orchestra. So it was a fantastic and such amazing musicians. But about a third of them, sometime during the summer, couldn't play. They had tendinitis, bursitis, they couldn't play. And I remember I lived there for weeks with them, and I worked, and I looked at their program, and I went to the guy who was in charge, and it was between Leon Fleischer and Sergio Sawa, and I said, let me tell you how we can reduce the number of injuries and get them to be better musicians. Cut down at least a third of the hours of practice. I said, you brought me here, you're paying me, I'm telling you what I think. And they went into so much anxiety. It took a while to start making this. No, we have to get them to. I said, no, you're killing them. So this has just reminded me this comment. How do we make it so we learn, not that we drill? We want the outcome of learning. We don't want the outcome of drilling. I love you, Anne.
Thank you.
We'll maybe open a course for parents, a little course, and then we can do some coaching, once a week, an hour. I don't know. We'll figure out what we can do.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
Okay. And I'm going to go back to the group. We're going to close this first podcast. And immediately, do we actually close it, or do you just declare?
We don't know. We'll just stay online, but we're bringing this first part to the close. We do have other questions that have come up, but this is a topic that we're going to focus on for at least the next sort of 6 weeks or so. So in various different iterations. So that
you mean the 5 podcasts, the next 5 podcasts?
Yes, exactly.
Not 6 weeks, but 5 podcasts. Okay.
And I just want to apologize. Apparently my sound was much softer than everybody else's. Please do forgive us our technical difficulties. This is the first time that we've done the podcast via Zoom to Facebook Live. So I'm hoping I'm more audible now, because when I was reading the questions, apparently it was difficult. So we apologize for that.
Thank you for joining us on NeuroMovement Revolution with Anat Baniel. You will find all of our podcasts and additional resources on our website at www.anatbanielmethod.com. You can also subscribe to this podcast for free on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and TuneIn. We look forward to seeing you online for our next NeuroMovement Revolution.